Alpha Bravo 4, Papa Sierra. I say again, Alpha Bravo 4, Papa Sierra.
Alpha Bravo 4, Papa Sierra, Roger, Roger. What's the name there?
Papa Sierra, Roger, Roger. What's the name there?
The name is Phil. Papa Hotel India Lima. Over.
Roger, Phil. And whereabouts are you located, sir?
Phil, and whereabouts are you located, sir?
Repeat last, please. Over.
Yes, sir. What's your location, Phil?
Yes, sir. What's your location, Phil?
Columbia, South Carolina. Sierra Charlie, South Carolina. Over.
Roger, South Carolina. And Phil, what radio are you running today, sir?
And Phil, what radio are you running today, sir?
I am running ICOM 7610
Roger, Phil, I just changed to my Kentucky SDR. It's got a better copy on you. Repeat your radio that you're running.
Got a better copy on you. Repeat your radio that you're running.
I am running ICOM 7610. ICOM 7610.
Roger, Roger, Phil, you're running that 7610. Well, if you're interested in some setup information and assistance, first thing would be to be sure that you're in that wide transmit bandwidth, TBW, 100 to 2900. Wide transmit bandwidth 100 to 2900. It lets that 7610 transmitter be all that it can be, and then gives you just a slice of daylight before you're into somebody else's conversation, Roger.
Before you're into somebody else's conversation, Roger.
Kind of faded out there. Roger, on that 7610, you are in the 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth. Is that a Roger?
2900 transmit bandwidth. Is that a Roger?
I am running 2.4K. I say again, 2.4K. AB4PS.
This is a 7610, ICOM 7610. Is that a Roger?
The 7610, ICOM 7610. Is that a Roger?
Okay, well, we suggest that you move that on up to the 100 to 2900 so your transmitter can be all that it can be. Right now, you're restricting the top end of your audio to the point that it's losing a lot of its articulation. And we need to preserve all of the articulation we can so folks can understand what we're saying. So we suggest that you operate in the 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth. It gives you just a slice of daylight before you're into somebody else's conversation, but it lets the transmitter be all that it can be, Roger.
Lets the transmitter be all that it can be, Roger.
They're still standing by for that Milford PA SDR. Gosh, we really love that SDR. It does such a beautiful job. Right now we're on our local, not our local, but our Kentucky SDR down around Cincinnati, and trying to copy the mail on Phil in South Carolina. I guess, Phil, you're getting quite a bit of wind down that way. Is that a Roger?
Yes, Phil, you're getting quite a bit of wind down that way. Is that a Roger?
Roger that, but it's kind of down a lot, and I think the storm's kind of passing us by now. The bandwidth is set 100 to 2900, by the way, and what was the number? So I laid my vertical down. I got a 6 lead TV.
Roger, Phil, I just went to my local antenna, and you're there for the moment, even better than on the Kentucky SDR. So, again, with that TBW, your transmit bandwidth, you are in the 100 to 2900 transmit bandwidth. Is that a Roger?
That is a Roger.
Okay, sir, that is let your transmitter be all that it can be. Now, into your compressor, and we suggest a 3. And that will give you it's the same as a 6, but without the punch in the middle, without sucking up in the middle. A 3 and a 6 are about the same as far as actually working on the word, except with a 6 you do get suck up between the words, and we don't need that. So we just suggest that you operate that compressor on a 3. Roger, Roger?
Roger on the 3. Didn't have it at 7 before. Over.
Yes, sir. That gives you suck up between the words, and a 3 is a lot better. Roger, Roger? Roger, Roger. Then, after you get that compressor on a 3, move to your ALC with mic gain in hand. And as you say the magic word audio, stretch out the first part of that word and adjust your mic level until your ALC meter is running 2/3. Say the word audio, don't stress it, just say it like you would say any other word in a QSO, and adjust your mic level until you're running 2/3 on your ALC. Roger?
Roger, I got to sign the mic gain on this thing. That's one of those things. Don't throw me, that's what,
Okay, so you got 2/3 on your ALC meter now, Roger?
let me check this out. Let me go. How's that sound?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Now, do you know how to get to your EQ page?
The A2 page.
Equalization page, tone control.
Roger, 1 second. That's under the tone control section, right?
Yes, sir. And what are you currently running? Treble and bass. What are your readings? What are your current readings on treble and bass on your tone control page?
For bass, I have +2. For treble, I have 0.
One more time on that. Repeat, please.
I have treble at 0 and bass at +2. Over.
Roger, Roger. Okay, take your treble control on up to +6. Treble control on up to +6, and let me listen to you.
This is Alpha Bravo 4, Papa Sierra. Alpha Bravo 4, Papa Sierra.
Okay, and then on your bass, -1. -1 on your bass control, Roger. Oh, terribly, terribly informative. A QRMer of the first rank. Well, in honor of our QRMer today, I call this one Ode to QRMer. Here's a thought to consider for my QRMer. What if I were you and you were I? Listen to me, brother, at least try. You don't know me, but yet you attack me. I've done nothing to you, so why? Think about it. It's not me to blame for this attack, but you. So I must represent something you distaste. But what could that be? Do my words cause you pain? Does my voice cause you hate? Think about it, brother. It's not me to blame, but it's your rage that's to blame. You must get yourself under control, or, well, because if you attack me today, who will you attack tomorrow? Who will it be? Some kid in the park? Yes, that's your style. Some kid in the park in the dark. Because it doesn't matter to you, just anyone will do. Your rage and hate will seal your fate. You know, I would seek help if I were you. This has been Ode to QRMer. And gosh, Phil, what's going on there? Did you get your EQ set back to where we were talking about?
Roger, all set. Hey, I don't have your call sign, please. Can you give me your call sign, over?
How about you giving me your call sign, Buster?
I am Alpha Bravo 4, Papa Sierra, over.
Try one more time, Alpha Bravo 4, what?
I say again, Alpha Bravo 4, Papa Sierra. Alpha Bravo 4.
Roger there. Gosh, well, we've got some, somebody that really has a bad problem that they just can't control themselves. Very impolite, unprofessional. But anyway, hang on just a minute, sir. I'm working with Phil right now. This is a control network. And let me get Phil underway, and we'll touch base after that, Roger. So, Phil, let me listen to you. Tell me about your antenna system.
I have, my primary is a Hustler 6B TV with the 17 and 12 meter attachments on it. This is the whole DX engineering kit with the Omni-Tilt base. I've had great luck with it. I got about 22 radios coming out, ranging from 40 feet to 65 feet. I've had great luck with it. I'm very happy with the setup. Unfortunately, with the storm that came through yesterday, I had to lay it on the ground, and because I didn't want any wind damage on it. I'll probably pick it up back up vertical this afternoon when the weather gets just a little bit better. So right now I'm using the G5 RV Junior, running about between 20 to 30 feet. Over.
Roger that, Phil. I'm looking, there's a button on your radio that, let me find it here. It takes you to, stand by just a second. Let me find that. I'll be right back. Right, Kilo Charlie 9, Victor, Kilo Victor. This is Jim in the Qso-Vlog net.
I copy Kilo Charlie 9, Victor, Charlie Victor. Kilo out.
Roger, sir.
Thank you very much. Alpha Bravo 4, Papa Sierra, standing by.
Okay, on the front of your 7610, you've got a button called Quick. Button called Quick on your 7610, Roger?
I do not see a button called Quick.
Yes, towards the middle of your radio there. And this button, Quick, takes you to drive. Roger.
Roger, I just found the thing.
All right, so punch up Quick, takes you to drive, and what's your reading on drive? All right, adjust that to 65. Make that 65 on your drive. Roger, Roger.
Roger, Roger. What does that do?
That pumps up your audio just a little bit. No, a little bit more. You'll notice it on your output level. Roger, Roger.
Roger, Roger, Roger. Modulation gain. Over.
Repeat.
That's like a modulation gain. Over.
It's it's like a limiter, because the thing is, we played with that before, just as trying to see what its maximum capabilities were, and we took it to 100%. And what happens at 100% is just wall-to-wall audio. The audio has no life in it. It looks like a plate current meter. It just doesn't even, like a regular VU meter will bounce around with a voice, Well, this one, when you do 100% on your drive, it just stonewalls that audio. It's just massive, but it's so much so that you can't really understand it. But it's loud, but it's hard to understand. So that's why we suggest a 65 compromise. Roger, Roger. Yes, sir. So it'll help you a little bit more down the road as far as working out the problems on QRM and pile-ups. Roger.
Roger, AD4PS.
I'm sorry?
I said Roger, Roger, AD4PS.
I'm not sure what you're saying on that last part.
Just throwing my call sign out. AD4 Papa Deer.
Oh, Roger, Roger. Yes, sir. Okay. Good enough, sir. And I think if you would like to tell me the best thing you like about your radio now, maybe we can get a little bit better recording, and then when you go looking, you'll appreciate that. So tell me in about 10, 15 seconds or 20, the best thing you like about your radio.
The best thing I like about this radio is being able to, the first thing is being able to save all the settings. Like after we get it done here, I'm going to save the settings. So I have a different set of settings, and if you don't like something, you can always go back to a previous set. Like I have one set of settings for FCA, one set of settings for normally for FSD, and I'll save these as today's settings. Make sure I don't have any confusion or question. Everything's working good. The second thing, and the main thing I like about this radio, is the dual tuners. The main radio is the dual tuners, where you can listen, like normally you can go turn the second receiver on and listening to both the net and what's going on to the side of me, or if I'm monitoring two nets, if there's two nets going on that I want to listen to, I can listen to both of them, and then just, if I need to transmit on one, transmit on that one. If I want to transmit on the other one, just change to the other net. But I'm still listening to both. So I think that's the best function of this radio, is the dual receivers. Over.
Roger, Roger. Sounds good, sir. That's my favorite also. One of my favorites. The 7300 is also my favorite. But I can't, the 7610, I can't afford it. But I like the way that the 7610 breaks the video out on HDMI for large screen TV monitors. It's not complicated. It's state of the art, and it really just takes the whole thing on a HDMI right into your large screen monitor. Whereas the 7300, you got to go through a bunch of barrels, and you still can't get the whole thing to the monitor, right?
Roger, I owned a 7300 before I owned this one, and I was very happy with it, but the screen was too small and hard to see. Plus, I really wanted the dual receiver thing. I really like this radio, but I will say one thing. That 7300 was very, very easy to use, whereas the 7610 is very complicated, very complex menu system, and you got to keep the manual on your desk at all times. Over.
Roger, Roger. Now, Bob Heil did such a great job in working on the front end of that 7300. Talking about the equalizer. The whole thing about an equalizer is striking a balance between the treble in the mid-range and the bass in the mid-range, to the point that if you mess with the mid-range, it's very difficult for the treble and the bass to catch up. So, because of that, the 7300, 7610, I don't think even bothered to put the mid-range control in there. So it's EQ-wise just simplicity personified, Roger.
Roger. And I'm also using one of the house speakers with the supporting amplifier for it. I forget the model number of that, but I got the house amplifier and speaker, and that's what I'm using to listen to you to, and I found that makes it a lot easier, just being able to adjust the high, mid, and low for that based on what the QRM is and in my hearing, which is pretty bad to begin with. Over.
Roger, yes. Options, of course, are the name of the game. Now, the game that I play here is getting everything as flat as possible so we can delve into reality as best as possible. The 7300 has a frequency response from 3 down to 100 cycles, and then we monitor a house monitor that we use has a subwoofer in it, which is good for 40 cycles, so we can tell pretty well what's going on. We don't use any noise reduction or impulse noise stuff at all. It's just as flat as we can get it, and we have a very low RF front end that it doesn't suck up between the words on receive. So we try to capture the signal just as best we can, and that's what we're running on your signal right at the moment, Roger.
Roger, I understand, and I really appreciate your suggestions this afternoon. Over.
Yes, sir. Glad to do it, sir. And if you want to hear that audio, if you go to YouTube, do a call letter search for KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook. Will take you to this recording. It'll be cut number 1 in a series of 3200, and I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow, Roger.
Roger, I really appreciate that. I've always wondered what I sound like over the air. Over.
Yes, sir. Well, the whole thing is we try to get that your audio signal to be about 3 dB as far as dynamic range, because that is the best as far as getting a fast signal out there. If we were to try to transmit a 10 dB dynamic range, which is what happens in reality, say if I had a meter tied to a PA system, I would be looking at 10 dB dynamic range, because there wouldn't have any processing involved. But when it comes to transmitting that, it's just not fat enough to overcome a lot of the problems that we have on radio. So we try to condense that from a 10 dB to a 3 dB, and we go from a 30% average peak modulation to an 80 to 85% average peak modulation, Roger.
Roger. And am I speaking to Lance? Over.
I'm sorry?
Is your name Lance? Over.
Name here is Jim, Juliet, India, Mike, Roger.
Juliet, India, Mike. And your call is KC9 Victor, Charlie, Victor. Over.
That's Roger. We're located down around Louisville. We're on the Indiana side of the Ohio River, right at Louisville, Roger.
Roger. I was just looking at the QRZ page, and then Lance. Over.
Yes, sir. Well, appreciate dropping by, and if you get a chance, don't be a stranger. Drop by next Friday. We'd love to have you.
Roger. I appreciate talking to you, and I appreciate all your ideas. Over. AI5JL.
stations is a control network. Stand by, please. So, Phil, let me say threes to you, sir. And you have a great afternoon. Beautiful weekend, Roger.
73 and likewise. See you. Over.
Roger, Roger. This is the Friday afternoon Qso-Vlog net. If you have a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.